Hey guys, welcome to episode 33 of Signal Boost. And you might notice that I am home and I don't have Alicia with me. And that's because we both got COVID. So it's a super bummer. I'm not stoked about it, obviously. I went all the way to New Jersey and Virginia and New York and came back to Reno and didn't have COVID and then got COVID in Reno. So that's pretty ironic from my best friend. But really, if you're going to get COVID, I feel like you want to get it from your best friend, right? Who else? It's like in your pod. I don't have any juice box. My toddler is here crying. Hey, come here. So that's cool. We all got sick. But I wanted to air this interview that we did before we got COVID. Alicia did an interview with Jen, and I'm just going to put it on now, and then you don't have to listen to my baby cry.
Hey, so we're here today with Jen Charboneau. She's a Reno local painter who is very prolific in this area. You've maybe seen her work around town. And she has a new show that just opened up. The reception is next Thursday, and it's called A Retelling of the Familiar. It's with Anna Bonnell. It's a duo show. And so yeah, we're here today in the Sierra Arts Gallery in downtown Reno, and to talk about how this came to be, and hopefully you all can come out and see it. So first, even though we've had Jen on the show before, so maybe you're familiar with her and her work, we're still gonna have her introduce herself and talk about a little bit about how you came to be a painter here in Reno.
Perfect, yeah. Hi, I'm Jen Charboneau. I usually go by Jay Charboneau if you see that name around Reno and places. I am a contemporary painter and I am a muralist as well. I am a transplant from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I have been in Reno about 6 years now, so
Wow. Yeah.
almost beyond that transplant barrier, maybe.
We came right around the same time.
Yeah.
You've been here about 6 years.
So I've been living and working and painting here and with this community for the past 6 years, and I have been working towards having a show in the Sierra Arts Gallery. I've always admired the space. The location downtown is amazing, but also just what you have available with the walls and with creating some interesting installations has always intrigued me.
For sure.
So Anna is an artist. She's a ceramic sculpture artist up in Incline. And she and I came together for this duo show, and what is kind of joining the show together is our attention to the details and the materials that we use when we create. So she's a ceramic artist that usually works with local clays and local minerals from the area, and I am an artist, painter that typically works with charcoal, calligraphy inks, and anything else I can mix media in with that. So we kind of joined forces and showcased the subject matter of Nevada.
Yeah.
Both of us being here, she's grown up in the West in the Utah, Nevada region. Mm-hmm. So she's very drawn to the materials that she can pick out to work with her clay. Mm-hmm. And I've been drawn to the landscape and the epic open, vast landscape that Nevada has, and anything along the Sierra Mountains. So that's kind of what the show represents, is both of our takes on basically the Wild West. So the title, A Retelling of the Familiar, is just our new way to present this area and the story it has behind it.
I love that. And it is so, like, you walk in and it feels extremely like Nevada, Wild West, like the way you guys have this set up. And it's really beautiful. I hope all you viewers can come out and see it. But so let's talk a little bit about some of the pieces in this. A thing that's really interesting when you guys see this show, you'll see there's a lot of objects and like sculptural pieces that look like things you would see like out in the Nevada desert. And Jen has already told me like a lot of these things are actually made out of clay.
Yes.
Right?
So Anna's focus, especially with this project, was to recreate and work with that idea of the nostalgia of what's been left behind from the pioneers and the miners of the past. So a lot of the sculptural works, look carefully and take your time, because most of the parts of the actual sculptures are cast in clay. They are not metal, they are not, the wood is real.
Yeah.
I think that's all the extra material she used, so.
And there's some like little details that sort of give it away. Like you can't see here, but off to the left, what would you call this structure? It's something having to do with mining. It's like a mining structure.
It's kind of like a mining shaft.
Like a shaft.
I guess the representation of it. And yeah, she did the oil drum, which is up on top of it. You'll have to come and check it out.
Yeah, you'll have to come see it. But it's like an oil drum with a ladder, and then the ladder rungs are clay. And I noticed there's like little bits of gold worked into it, like little indicators that it isn't maybe what it appears, which is kind of a really beautiful and subtle and interesting way to present it. It's very cool. And also things that are out of your view right now. There are some really gorgeous giant paintings by Jen, and they're incorporating some of these local clays, right?
Yeah, so
And minerals.
partway through the process and the project, Anna dropped off some of the materials she was working with that were raw from Nevada.
That she goes out and forages for herself, yes?
Yes.
Cool.
And so I took a couple of those materials and I used them in two similar 10-foot long landscape paintings that depict the Sierras. And one of them is Walker Lake clay, and one of them is what we only mine in Nevada is vanadium.
Do you know what it's used for? Like it's industrial? It's
yeah,
industrial
I had to look
material?
it up because I had no idea. I loved the color of it. But I
It's
was
like an
what is this
ochre
for?
yellow.
Yeah. So it's actually used to make other materials like steel stronger. So when they're recreating or doing stuff for building materials. Don't ask me the process. I haven't dove that far.
Sure, something in metallurgy, but
Yeah.
but that's interesting. Yeah, just kind of an esoteric mining. Like that's super interesting. The idea that you could take something that's just like an industrial like material like that and make it. It really is a beautiful color.
Yeah, just add water.
Just add water and it's paint, folks. It's the secret. But so how did you and Anna get hooked up to do this?
Well, Sierra Arts does a great job. They curate for the year and they put us together, and this was over a year ago. Yeah, and it was just a suggestion because of the way we present our materials. They're like, go for it. And
it was like you guys got set up in like an art blind date situation.
Yeah, and it was interesting because the first day that we spoke and met, it was like, our concepts collided. Our presentation to what we had wanted was a little bit different, but it was very easy to see where we connected as artists and how we could present that in a cohesive way. And I think that's great for any artist. Like, if you've never met someone or if you're nervous about, how things are presented alongside another person, it's like, sometimes it's talking beyond what is actually like showcased to figure out where you guys connect. And for us, it was like that connection to Nevada in the past and how we're presenting it in the present, and then our materials.
Yeah, like your styles are very like, they really work together.
Yeah.
Like her sort of industrial desert look with like your style really does look very cohesive and beautiful together. It's a really beautiful show. So what were some of the challenges that you found, would you say, in that type of a partnership? It's really interesting to me, actually, that's how it came together. Sierra Arts was like, hey, you guys might want to try.
Here you go, good
going
luck.
together. It's like a group project in school or something. Like, here's your partner. Like,
honestly, the only challenge was because she's an incline, so we didn't have a lot of time to actually get together or work on projects together, we had discussed trying to get actually out into the desert and do our collecting of data or information and materials, because I do a lot of plein air painting and sketching out in the desert. So I was like, oh, that can work.
Yeah.
But as time allows, it went too fast.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing how that is sometimes. Because you guys have been working on this for, you said you got paired up about a year ago, but how long would you say you've been working on getting the show together? The whole time? Or
yeah, pretty much the whole time.
Wow.
So a couple of pieces I have in here are, I would say they're progressive pieces that required time, and they required me to build up and destroy these different layers so I could present sort of a story with one visual.
Yeah.
One of those pieces, which is actually 22 pieces put together,
You can see here
is behind us. And then another piece in the gallery, I actually did a painting over a year and painted 7 different landscapes on top of each other.
Oh, wow.
So the final landscape is all you see, but the presentation of the landscapes that were before that I eventually destroyed, erased, and redid to create the new landscape are all on display and photos next to it. So
Nice. Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
yeah.
That's a cool explanation of what's happening here. I had looked at it,
Yeah.
but hadn't looked at it close enough to realize that's what was. That one's over to this side. When you're here checking out the show, it'll become obvious to you, which it is. That's really awesome.
And is this in full view? Do we have?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
we can see this whole piece here.
So just as an example, this piece is 22 pieces, and this was maybe almost 2 years in the head before I could actually get it all out. But it's a play on a Japanese scroll, but it actually
Oh, wow.
can tell you a story showcasing all these different landscapes.
Beautiful. It does remind me of the Japanese scroll work. It did. That is where my brain went when I first saw it.
Yeah.
And these are all pieces of wood that it's on.
Yes.
Nice. Did you build out all this framing as well?
I did, yeah. That
Nice.
was maybe the difficult part too, is it was in the head, but to make sure it hung properly.
Right.
But
The wood is beautiful. Is it like a reclaimed wood, or is it something that you like stained to look weathered?
it is actually redwood, leftover farmed redwoods. Not going out and chopping things down, but
Sure.
yeah. So I tried to use something. It was leftover from materials that I had.
Cool.
But yeah, something that's close
But
to
a material,
the area.
yeah, that's relatively local. That's awesome. Yeah, it's beautiful.
So you have to come and flip through
Yes,
the story.
come and flip through the story and check it out. Cool. Well, one of the main things we like to ask people, and we've asked these before, but like, do you have any advice you would give to someone who is maybe in this context, like trying to work on like a new partnership with a new artist to like, what, do you have any particular tips or advice for someone who is trying to do like a show with another person, like a collaboration, like a new collaboration, because this is a big collaborative effort.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a little esoteric of a question.
I mean, I would say the biggest thing that I always see is be confident in what you bring to the table, but you also have to be open. It's the same thing as trying to like, for yourself, is to branch beyond what you've been creating. Let's say you're trying to use a new material, so you have to practice and you go through trial and error. So when you're working with another artist, it's about being confident in showcasing what you do, but also allowing that creative back and forth trial and error to see how then what they can do can better what you can do, or it can change it, give you a different perspective. So it's the open mind, but also the confidence in what you do. I think that's the biggest thing, is like,
Right.
if you can't,
Don't lose yourself in it.
yeah, don't allow yourself to get kind of washed away and turn it into just a collaborative piece where you can't see you in it.
Right.
I think it should always showcase definitely each artist
Yeah,
and
yeah.
how they kind of put little bits of themselves into it.
Because I feel like you guys have done a great job with that. It really seems like it ended up being a very cohesive and beautiful partnership. So
Yeah.
it's really cool. So it's on display here at Sierra Arts until
the end of the month.
Yeah.
Yeah, their gallery hours, they're Tuesday to Saturday, 10 to 4. Saturday it's noon to 4. So it's a great way to get out, take the family, especially if you don't want to be among crowds. You can take your own time. You could reach out to Sierra Arts. They could reach out to me if you want a private artist tour as well.
Nice.
But then the reception, the big party where you can meet myself and Anna and a bunch of other artists and locals is next Thursday, the 20th from 6 to 8.
Great.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll see you guys all there.
Yeah.
And well, thank you so much for talking to us about it, and congratulations. It's a
Thank
beautiful
you.
show.
It's always good to talk to you guys.
Yeah.
Hey. So yeah, we recorded that interview before we got sick with COVID. So we really wanted to air it because tomorrow's the reception, and I'm sure there's plenty of you out there who can go and see it and are not sick. So that's awesome. You should go do it. And I was just gonna do Instagram roundup, and then that's it for this week since I'm just here at my house and I can't interview anybody. Sadness. I literally have been in bed for the last 2 days, so the fact that I rallied to play that interview for you, I feel like is pretty good. All right, let's see, because there's some cool stuff you guys need to know about that's happening this week. Let's do the Instagram roundup. Also, hey, it's me, Sprocket. I'm the communications director at The Generator and one of the hosts of Signal Boost that we do every Wednesday. Also, just to let you guys know, we did create like a calendar kind of app so that anybody can sign up to be interviewed for Signal Boost. It's super simple now. You can just go to the generator, the renogenerator.com, and click on the Signal Boost page, and there's a link for the calendar right there. And I think we're booked out till March, but that's not that far. So sign up. We want to interview you. Okay, what's going on? So many cool things at Holland, as per usual. I love them. They inspire me every day. They just started this new visual arts initiative, which is a billboard gallery. I love that so much. And it's actually in partnership with, Reno Arts and Culture Commission and the National Endowment for the Arts. So rad. And then a bunch of local businesses help them out with it. And now they're going to have art up on billboards. It's so cool. Yeah, go to HB Galleries to learn more about that and see if you can get your stuff up there. K-Wink, another cool Holland project, side project. They're doing their call for DJs. You have until the 25th, so you got a little bit. And then maybe you could become a DJ. No experience required. You could have your own cool show on K-Wink. I've always wanted to do that, but I feel like I got a lot going on. Maybe sometime in the future. But you should do it. And then after you start your show, you can come on Signal Boost and we can interview you about it. We're actually going to have our first K-Wink DJ on in a couple weeks. Urban Roots is doing a bunch of winter volunteer hours. They're really cool. If you've never been over there, it's like an urban farm, and they do a lot of educational programs, and they're amazing. So look at all these shifts. They're just from 10 to 12. It's like 2 hours. So easy. And there's going to be a park cleanup at the Truckee River, on the 12th. So lots of opportunities to do cool stuff. Maybe, you got to reserve your spot, though. So go to the link in their bio. But maybe we'll go and we'll film it. That'd be pretty cool. Our center. I hear my child's coming. Hold on. What happened? You're going to sit? Okay. Well, now this music's going to be playing in the background. Sorry, guys. This is my my 2-year-old. He likes to watch truck videos.
My Mimi calling.
Oh, is Mimi calling? Okay, so our center, if you haven't been there, you should go. It's really cool. It's over on Wells, and they're doing a deaf cafe, which I thought's really rad.
Call Mimi.
You trying to call Mimi? Oh no, Cassidy. calling my emergency contact. Yeah, what else is happening? I might not be able to finish this, guys. But there's a lot of really cool stuff happening. What else do we got? Oh, yeah. I talked about this last week. Refugee stuff. Yeah. All right. I'm just going to roll out because my small child's not going to let me actually be able to do this. And that's fine. Usually he's not around. But thanks so much for tuning in. And hopefully by next week, it'll be back to your regular programming. See you guys.